Rhetoric and composition scholar Jim W. Corder writes, "Still, if I locate the particulars I've sometimes lived with, maybe I'll be found among them or alongside them. Perhaps they will situate me." I ask myself, is locating the particulars of our lives, the things that surround us, not at the heart of what it means to be in the world? For dwelling is a continual process. Perhaps, like Corder, I'm trying to seek a theory of materiality that explores ways of being with objects, to attempt to explain the impulse to find, own, and collect. I believe that objects have the ability to touch us, but rhetoricians don't yet have an exhaustive vocabulary to describe the intrinsic power of things, the motives and emotions of finders and collectors, or the key role that materiality plays in the construction and expression of rhetorical ethos. I keep asking, who is the materialist? Can we find the materialist among his or her effects? How might the study of the material be important to rhetoric, specifically to the definition of ethos? Scholars like Deleuze, Foucault, Merleau-Ponty, and Rickert tell me that the subject and the object, the self and the other, the self and the material, are ever unfolding, are ever entwined in the process of meaning-making. Being attuned to the material can perhaps even work to help dissolve the binary of the self and other, of the self and the material. The divide now feels to me like a tenuous separation, a gossamer thread. I argue that engagement with the material, investigating our own and others' affective relationship to it, has the potential to further our understanding of how we come to be situated, how we come to know ourselves, each other, and the world that is ever revealing itself to us. My research on the human process of dwelling has led me to identify 6 principles related to the rhetorical study of the material. Thing power, to account for the intrinsic power of objects themselves, to flatten traditional hierarchies that privilege the subject, and to explore how agency is distributive. Matter shapes our everyday lives and our perceptions. It's not merely something we act on, but also acts on us and with us. Affect, to forward the discussion of motives for material acquisition that finders and collectors identify. Some of these motives are chiefly related to mourning, to memorialization, and to nostalgia. Character, to consider the ways that character is revealed by material objects. This involves a careful examination of how collectors see objects as somehow representing them and their values. Narrative, to acknowledge the important role that storytelling plays in signifying the meaning of objects to us. Indeed, narrative serves as a bridge between thing and experience. Scholars then have to consider travel narratives, flea market finding, and other discussions of the thrill of acquisition as primary texts for analysis. Time, to foster a greater attunement to the object in relation to time, to theorize a kairos for the object, more specifically to see how the object can become present to the subject in a moment and reveal its past, present, and future. In other words, the linearity of time is disrupted in the subject-object interaction. Becoming, to recognize the object and the subject as always in states of becoming with other people, places, things. Corder referred to this principle as an act of emergence or unfolding. Whatever name one attaches to this phenomena, it suggests a network sense of the material, an assemblage of beings that act on and with each other. If we as rhetorical scholars can combine all these rich terms together, memory, kairos, narrative, and a dash of affect, perhaps then a complex theory of materiality will take hold, at least for a while. Perhaps then the process of being situated, of dwelling, will reveal the generative possibilities of ethos.